Hello again, my friends, and welcome back to the Astro Report of the Week, where we look ahead to what's happening in the astrology. And this week, we have a very big shift in energy because we're moving from one element to another. Several planets are making that shift, and therefore, there is a big backdrop of that transformation. And we're also going to be talking about a particular transit that occurs, well, every 4 years, but more on that in just a bit. So, to begin with, like I said, there's an elemental shift from Earth. Here you can see where my cursor is. So, this purple is the sign of Taurus. It is the Earth yin domicile of Venus, meaning the home of Venus. And all of the planets are shifting into, at least the planets you can see here, are shifting into the sign of Gemini, which is this green, looks like a Roman numeral 2. And so what that means is we have an elemental shift from earth into air. Gemini, by the way, is the young air domicile of Mercury. And so what we know about earth energy is that it's very much in the physical plane, and therefore you might think of phrases and terms like someone that is down to earth or grounded, stable, dependable, reliable, and even sensual because it's feeling in through the body, the five senses, and really also to do with things like security and possessions, things that we take in order for our body to be nourished, and also things that we need for feeling secure. And now we're shifting into this air sign of Gemini, which is very cerebral. It's very much about thoughts and ideas and communicating those thoughts and ideas and transporting things from one place to another. So it's very much this sign of kind of mobility. And if you think about it, as we are here in Gemini season, this is the time between spring and summer. And so some of the things that I notice in nature are the, you know, animals are now in kind of this intermediate level. So they were babies and now they're kind of in this teenage time. So you'll see a lot of mother ducks with their ducklings that are kind of almost at full growth, but not quite there. And so therefore this sign is also something that's associated with early childhood education and curiosity and intellect in that kind of way. Very airy. It's very much in the idea space. And so when we have planets shifting from the Earth sign, where they're very grounded, stable, reliable, comfortable, Gemini in this air sign is moving into this space where it's less to do with comfort and more to do with exploration, more to do with taking those side quests and getting lost so that you can find something new and being very experimental in that way of ideas and information that one is taking in through the body, through the mind, and through other people, especially because, as you can see, it looks like a Roman numeral 2. It is symbolized by the twins, and so therefore there is a lot in this sign about relating with other subject-object relationships, games, play, all those things that are also associated with childhood as well. So we have already 3 planets, as you can see here, the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. So I am going to move this time clock forward and allow you to see how this green glyph moves into the same degree as this yellow glyph, and that is the Sun and Venus moving together. And you'll also probably notice this green glyph here with the horns is going to move into the green sign of Gemini, and that is Mercury moving into his home sign. So as we advance this clock forward, you'll notice in the top left corner, that is the date that we're moving to. So somewhere just after the 1st of June, you notice that the green glyph and the yellow glyph are moving into very close to the same degree. At this point, it's already considered a conjunction. And a conjunction, of course, is when 2 or more planets move into or just around the same degree point. So I'm going to leave it here at June 4th. You see that the Sun and Venus are right in the same degree. And in fact, I'll move it just a little bit forward so you can see they actually move together for quite a few days. June 6th and even into June 7th. And this is very interesting because not only do we have Mercury at home, we also have a new moon that day. Now, it's nice to talk about a new moon because the same is true for Venus. So, you know how we always say that new moons are new beginnings, it's a seeding point, something that is coming into reality. So it's this this point at which the moon becomes new. And similarly, anytime a planet comes into conjunction with the sun, it is a new planet. It is being reborn in a similar way to the moon. So this is the restart of a cycle for Venusian themes. And what we know about Venus is that she's related with beauty, creativity, sisterhood, womanhood, uh, the aesthetics, harmony, balance, the feminine, the divine feminine. And these kinds of themes are having a reset point for all of us in our chart somewhere. So this could be as simple as you are getting a haircut, trying a completely new look, a brand new wardrobe, and very experimental because it's in the sign of Gemini. And it could also be that you're exploring new social spheres in order to kind of increase your influence, where you're being influenced, ideas that are coming in, new people, new experiences. Um, that is very much Venus in Gemini. She's very playful and flirtatious and experimental in the sign of Gemini. And of course, we have a lot of energy in this area of the chart. You can see it right here on this day in particular, the 7th of June, a 5-planet pileup. So, with all that being said, there is a major shift from Earth to air. And it's always important to remember the lessons that we learned in the sign just prior to where the energy is concentrated like this. So, something that we learn from Earth is to stay grounded, remind yourself that you have a body, and if that means bringing yourself back to your breath, uh, practicing meditation, somehow staying in your body because Gemini season can be overstimulating in some cases. It can be overwhelming, scattering. And so if you do sense into any of those feelings during this time, allow yourself to eat really good food and drink water and sleep well and just try to maintain those routines that you established in Taurus season and move ahead into Gemini season, keeping those lessons in mind. But also allow yourself to explore and experiment and see what the universe affords for you when you open yourself up to receiving new insights and when you open yourself up to curiosity. Venus and the Sun come together in the sign of Gemini every 4 years. So if you would like to look back in your journaling or in your photo albums, in your emails, whatever it is that helps you to get the insight, the messages that you're looking for as far as how this energy manifested in your life before, just look back every 4 years. So June 2020, in fact, was the last time. Before that, it was June 2016, before that, June 2012, and so on. So just keep going back. And it's pretty much always in June because that's Gemini season. Some of it might be May, but that is your report for this week. And I would like to add here at the end that for the season of Gemini, which goes until June 20th, I'm running a BOGO. It's a buy one, give one special for my relevance reading where I look at your astrology, human design, and gene keys and interpret how the current transits or whichever day you would like me to look at are impacting your chart. So I'll look at the month before, the month after, whatever time period you select, and we'll talk about what's relevant in your chart. And until the 20th, you can give this reading to someone else for free as well. So check out my website. It's delightfullytaboo.com/astrology, and I am looking forward to meeting with you and looking at your chart.